Hello there, I'm Big Alias, and do you mind if I piss you off real quick? Do you mind if I make you angry? Do I make you angry, baby? Do I? I think I'm about to. One of the most beloved games of all time, one of the most certified masterpieces, a game that universally is considered one of the greatest games ever made. I just don't love it. I just don't love GTA 4. And I never have. I've never loved this game. I'm just going to be straight up and honest about it. I want to say a few omissions before I go in. I do think it's a good game. In fact, I do think it's a great game. I think it's very well made. Tremendously well made. For the time, my god, nothing was like this. It was absolutely insane. And I self-admit on my part, I've never had a game night playing this game multiplayer, and I've heard that that's tremendously fun. So we're talking just purely in terms of single player, but people have, talked about what an amazing experience single player was as well. So, don't get on me for that. Man, I'm so nervous about this video. I mean, if this does catch any views, it would be nice if people were just like, well, that's your opinion, bro. We'll just move on and be friends, bro. But I can't see that happening. This is such a beloved game. But I don't know. I just can't enjoy it. I mean, it's taken me 16 years. I've almost finished the game. I think I've probably got about 5 more core missions remaining, and then I would have finally rolled credits on this freaking thing. And it's taken me so long because I have to stop at a certain point. It's one of those games. Again, I totally recognize that it's a good game, but I'm just never having fun playing the damn thing. And I do kind of dread some of the missions. I don't want like heavy shooting missions or really any car chase missions either, because I don't think the shooting's very good. I think the shooting honestly is bad here. And before you say it's not a shooter, it's not a third-person shooter, it has cover mechanics, it has weapons, and it has missions. Most importantly, it has missions with shooting sections. This is a third-person shooter as well as an RPG. So I don't want to hear that. But the shooting is awful. And again, before you tell me that, it was an open world game made back in 2008. What do you expect of the shooting? Do you really expect it to be amazing? We had Gears of War in 2005. I think it was maybe 06 actually. We had Gears of War with tremendous third-person shooting. We had tons of games, lots of games with very good third-person shooting. That's no excuse. And before you say that this is open world, it's a different beast, we had Crackdown. And before you say well, this game is more realistic than Crackdown, it's better looking, it's more immersive, I completely agree. However, we've reached the point I'm trying to make. We've reached it. The nail has hit the head. My point is that I just think this game aimed too hard for realism, and in doing so, it didn't really focus enough on fun. The engine that runs this game is not an engine actually that I think back then was typically used for third-person shooters. It was the Havoc engine. But basically, Havoc is an engine that you use if you want like good ragdoll physics. It's an engine that specifically is very good in terms of ragdoll physics, which this game does tremendously well. But that's not gameplay. That's physics. And if you have a game that is at its core you can tell how careful I'm being with this, at its core just a demonstration of fun physics, a game like, there was a game called Pain back in the day. I think that ran on the Havoc engine, where you just catapult this guy and he hits a bunch of stuff, and his body's all ragdolling and stuff like that. Here, it controls elements like flying out of your vehicle or knocking someone. This game, I remember there was a lot of talk about how if you hit someone who's holding a hot dog, the hot dog will fall out of their hand. Back then that was a huge deal, and it was, and that's thanks to that's thanks to the Havoc engine. But at the same time, knocking a hot dog out of someone's hand doesn't make the shooting fun. It just means that if I knock someone who's holding a hot dog and it falls out of their hand, the first time it happens, I'm going to go, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I'm going to move on. And then the game is going to be annoying and difficult to control. And there's just a tremendous sense of input lag here. And again, before you get on me, games like Halo 3, games like Call of Duty, Gears of War didn't have this input delay. And it's largely because you're controlling a big meat puppet. You're controlling a wacky, wavy, inflatable, flailing arm guy who's walking down the street and knocking into things. And things are falling over when he's knocking into things, but he's just annoying to control. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I don't like the driving in this game. I think it's way too swimmy and way too floaty. The cars feel too heavy, and there's a definite lack of control. And like I said, if you knock into something, odds are you're probably going to come flying out the windscreen, which is great, you know, when demonstrating a game in an E3 trailer. But when you're in a high-speed chase at the end of like a 15-minute gunfight and you go flying out of your windscreen knowing that you're going to have to start the fucking mission from the beginning again, because this game was made in 2008, and despite the fact that we had checkpoints back then, it was like, well, maybe we'll put one here or there occasionally, but overall we're not even going to bother with fucking checkpoints. So you have to start right from the beginning again, just so that they can have this cool talking point, but you're sat on the fucking ground with a helmet on because you fell off of your butt. I'm not going to get annoyed. It was like a huge waste of time, like a big time suck. And it's such a long game. For such a long game to be so inconvenient. Like, that's probably the best word that I could use to describe the physics in this game. It's inconvenient. Like, everything is just such a slug. And yeah, again, this is not to mention the shooting sections, which are a great, vast improvement on the, you know, original games, but still awful. And you're still dealing with a far swimmier, floatier engine. So yes, the aim lock is better, and you can soft lock now, which is beneficial, but when the controls are sluggier and the, you know, character that you're controlling feels more sluggish, then that's just annoying. It's just frustrating. And it's very buggy. It's just overall very buggy game too. It still is this day. That's something that you can't deny. That's objectively speaking. Right now I'm trying to finish the game, but I was halted because my game didn't progress as it was supposed to. And you know, that's just frustrating. I think the biggest demonstration and the biggest beneficiary I have in my end of the court when it comes to this game is GTA 5. All of that was refined and fixed. The shooting's fantastic in GTA 5. The driving feels great. You can control the cars mid-air. You don't go flying out of the car nearly as much in GTA 5. You have, not to mention, they're having to break into a vehicle every time you want to use one. So you risk a police chase every time you want to move faster than waddling around the street tapping A over and over again. In GTA 5 they did away with that by giving you your own vehicle, so you could do that. You know, you could just use your own vehicle and not worry about the police chase. It just refined everything that was bad about this game. I think GTA 5 is a tremendous game and absolutely fun as hell. I think this game, GTA 4, was very ahead of its time, but I think it definitely lacks that fun factor. I'm not going to give it a score because I don't want to, and I honestly wouldn't know what to give it. But I have my gripes about this game, and I don't think it's not as good as people say, but I definitely didn't have as much fun as everyone else with this one. And yeah, I mean, during its run and now, I didn't have as much fun. So that's it. Yeah, GTA 4. That's my unpopular opinion about that game. Oh, I'll see everyone later. I keep forgetting about that.
PlayStation's only $149, and you can also get leading titles